Okay. All right. So here is House Divided Speech. Think question 3. What does Lincoln predict will happen to the country if this issue is not rectified or corrected? Include evidence from the text to support your response. Before we start, notice how the word corrected and rectified, they have the same root and they both mean the same thing. So that's how knowing some roots can help you understand the meanings of words. So anyways, what does Lincoln predict will happen to the country if this issue of slavery is not corrected? And so that is this whole paragraph. Either the opponents of slavery will arrest the further spread of it, or advocates will push it further, and it will become unlawful in all the states, old as well as new. All right, so that's the answer. But well, let's set up our question. Lincoln predicts that the country will not dissolve, but will either become all free or all slavery states. Okay, so there, what I did was Lincoln predicts that if the that Lincoln, I didn't add this into my response, so I'm going to do that. Lincoln predicts that if the country does not rectify the current slavery situation, then the country will not dissolve, but will either become all free or all slavery states. And so this is for my races, it's my R and my A restated and answered. So now I need to get some evidence. Now this paragraph, the entire thing explains what it needs to do, but I don't like copying that much, so I'm gonna write either the opponent will arrest a further spread of it. I'm going to copy that part. He begins by stating, where'd it go? Here we go. Let's get rid of that color. Okay, he begins by stating either the opponent's slavery will arrest the further spread of it, meaning that the ones who are against slavery will end up being successful and stopping slavery. He begins by stating, meaning that the ones who are against slavery will end up being successful and stopping slavery. He continues. Now let me get my other piece of evidence. Or its advocates will push it forward till it becomes alike lawful in all the states. Let's go to there. Command E. Okay, here we go. It continues. Notice we're in the middle of a sentence, so I need 3 dots. All right. And then we hadn't finished that sentence either, so we need 3 dots. This means that the other choice, or no, the other outcome will be that pro-slavery forces will win and all states will legalize slavery. Okay. Mr. Lincoln, let's have our summary sentence, predicts that the United States will solve the slavery issue either by being all slave states or all free states, but not by continuing the status quo, which means the current situation, which I spelled all wrong. Situation. Okay, now let's finish by highlighting our responses. So here we go. And since I used 2 quotes, I am going to get a 4 for this response. Okay, so before we're done, let's go ahead and look at the book response. Lincoln predicts that the country will not remain divided and that one half of the country will change its position on this issue. Either all of the states will allow slavery or none of them will. Lincoln states, and then they put the entire quote, which that is fine. I'm just not a big fan of having long quotes.